From Hollywood. Welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
Oh, you're never going to believe where I'm doing the show from today.
Who gives a rat's ass?
Yeah, I'm back in San Diego, my fiends, to whip out a racially charged, action-packed adventure.
Let's do it.
Here's what's on tap on the Wrap. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. The SAVE Act needs saving. And what in the Sam Hill is going on at Fox News? Enough with this black people deserving reparations nonsense, and I'll tell you why. Another round of head trauma is on the way. The name of the game is Liar, Liar today, plus our usual lunacy and loose behavior, including the Angry American and Bonk Bonk on the Head. Oh, you love it, don't you? That's what's happening today on the Rat's Ass Podcast for Monday, June 8th. I appreciate you tapping that play button. The countdown to America's 250th celebration continues. We're about 26 days away, and based on the emails I've received so far, most of you are just doing the traditional 4 Fs for the 4th of food, family, friends, and fireworks. But hey, whatever you're doing, just go have a good time. You know, we only turned 250 once, and the next celebration would be 2076. When we turn 300 years old. So yeah, I'm back in San Diego for Mojo's double secret location tour. I was going to go to Cincinnati last week to watch the Reds play Kansas City, but when I saw the Reds would be in San Diego, come on, San Diego versus Cincinnati? I'm not crazy. So that's where I'm at, back in San Diego. Yeah, just called an audible and decided to head back to America's favorite city to catch 3 games this week and head back to L.A. on Wednesday night to do the podcast on Thursday from Hollywood. And next week, I'll be at another double secret location that I can't tell you about yet. All right, let's get into the Wrap today. When we parted ways last Thursday, the California governor's race showed Republican Steve Hilton in the lead, with Javier Becerra in second and nutbag Tom Steyer in third. In the L.A. mayor's race, Karen Bass was in the lead. Spencer Pratt was second with an 8-point lead over Nithya Raman. Today, Becerra has locked up first place with Hilton sliding to second and Steyer still in third. In L.A., Bass has locked up first place, but Spencer Pratt is just about 1% behind Nithya Raman for third. Hasn't been called yet because only 73% of the ballots have been counted, but they'll continue counting today. Now, I told you on Thursday the Democrats would do a ballot drop at the end that would lock out the Republicans. Now, it does look like Hilton might face Becerra in November for the governor's race, but with 3 million ballots to go, hold your nose. It's not over yet. In L.A., I doubt Pratt makes the cut. One report said in 124,000 ballot count, Pratt only received 1 vote. 1 vote out of 24,000. The law of averages strongly goes against that probability. The Angry American has an interesting take on this coming up. You don't want to miss. Now, as you're well aware, 82% of Americans, regardless of party affiliation, wants the SAVE Act passed that requires voter ID. Well, the Senate put it up for vote on Friday, and it failed. Only 48 of 100 senators voted for it, and it needed 60 votes to pass. Now, we vote these bastards into office to do the people's work. That's called democracy. But when government doesn't do the people's work, okay, government likes to call it gridlock, but what we're dealing with is a government acting like dictators because it's in their best interest not to pass the SAVE Act. So essentially what we have is a corrupt government on both sides of the aisle. Now the question becomes, what are we the people going to do about it if we're not happy with this current government not doing the people's work? Well, based on our recent election results, looks like we're going to keep voting for the same ass wipes and expecting different results. And I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime, but the dumbing down of America is now complete. Now, it's been a few years since I've turned on Fox News and Fox and Friends, and on Friday morning I was doing some channel surfing, and I saw where Steve Doocy was doing some remote broadcasting from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Alexa, how old is Steve Doocy?
Steve Doocy is 69 years old.
Doocy? Well, that was a little bit disrespectful, don't you think?
I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, of course not. But regardless, it turns out this has been Steve's new role for quite a while, and Fox has essentially put Steve out to pasture in favor of Lawrence Jones, the black host, now working with Ainsley Earhardt and Brian Kilmeade. Now, my guess is Fox gave Steve the option to be a field reporter doing fluff pieces or retire because they need a little color on the curvy couch. And Steve decided to keep working, forcing Fox to pay his contract, estimated at $4 million a year. Way to stick it to him, Steve. Yeah, he said, nah, you know what? I think I'll take the $4 million a year till my contract runs out. You know, Fox probably came in with a pretty decent retirement package and said, hey, Steve, you can travel around the country doing these fluff pieces at 69 years old, or we'll just give you this nice, comfy retirement package. What do you want to do? And Steve said, yeah, you know what? My mama didn't raise no fool. I'm not making enough money off my cookbook. I'm sticking to the $4 million a year. Good for Steve. All right, this issue where black people are demanding reparations because members of their family were slaves continues to pop up from time to time as a talking point. Now, here in California, slavery was never an issue. Nobody in California ever owned slaves. We have black people here saying, we want California taxpayers to pay us reparations. Now, the Democrats floated this idea a few years back to create division. How can we divide blacks from the other races? Gavin Newsom was behind it here in California, but when push came to shove, good old Gavin vetoed paying any reparations, saying California couldn't afford it. That's how you know it was bullshit. But while we're on the subject of reparations, I did a little genealogy work on Ancestry.com and discovered that 3 of my relatives died during the war between the North and South, fighting for the North to free the slaves. So I want to know, where's my reparations at? I have 3 dead relatives who lost their lives so black people could be freed from slavery. They all died young. Who knows how many children they would have had that would have impacted our family a lot differently. I mean, what if their children, one of them found a cure for cancer, became president of the United States? We'll never know because they fought to end slavery and died for it. So I want to know, where is my damn reparations check? Where's yours? If you have family members who died in the war between the North and South, don't we deserve a little compensation for our misery?
That's just about enough of it.
All right, let's check in with the angry American to see what's got his panties twisted. This is Tim Kramer.
We used to have election day, and then it turned into election month. And then you had to wait for all the mail-in ballots to show up late. You know, not by election day, but days and weeks after. And they still count them just like it was on election day. Why do they do that? Well, because Democrats are cheating. How do I know? Because mail-in ballots have yet to benefit Republicans, not one time. We have not seen a tranche of votes come in at the last minute and suddenly put the Republican ahead. Why? Because that's how Democrats cheat. Full stop. Prove me wrong.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
If it wasn't for sports, this podcast would be a minute and a half shorter.
That one hurt.
Here's Mojo Elliott with his spin on sports on the Wrap.
Oh, I'm going to spank Alexa today. Oh, yeah, she's going to get it good. All right, before we get into the World Cup, let's do a quick check on how things are going in the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup. Tonight is Game 3 of the NBA Finals between the Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs. New York leads the series 2-0. They are 31-10. 31-10 at the Garden. It's looking kind of bleak for the Spurs. In the NHL Finals, Vegas leads Carolina 2-1 with Game 4 happening tomorrow night in Las Vegas. Could the Knights be on the verge of winning Lord Stanley's Cup? Speaking of cups, though, by the way, Fleabag, don't forget to remind me to pick one up before I go to the ball game tonight at Dick's. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, the World Cup is coming, and I know some of you are really into this big time, and that's okay. It's okay. Personally, I don't give a rat's ass. And that's my spin on sports on the Wrap.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, today we're playing Liar, Liar, where I tell you something about myself, and you have to determine if I'm lying or telling the truth. Now, back in 1994, while doing a morning show in Los Angeles, a 6.7 earthquake struck and forced me to stay on the air for 3 days straight because nobody else was able to make it to the radio station. Now, am I lying or am I telling the truth? Grab a brew or two, and we'll have the answer coming up for you here on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
All right, what do we do when famous people say and do stupid stuff? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, also known as AOC. I think you might have heard of her. She recently said Republicans are trying to steal elections because they only want U.S. citizens to vote. Now, I promised my mother on her deathbed that I would never hit a woman, but that was before a stupid horse-toothed bimbo who uses an initialism for a name popped up. So I don't think my mother, the Cyclone, would object. But in this case, I'm only going to give AOC one bump on the head for being a dipshit. Oops. Sorry, that one slipped. My apologies. Oh, damn, I did it again.
You fucked up.
Oh, you're going straight to hell for that one.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
All right, who wants to hear a recap of the Tony Awards from last night? Nobody? Okay, I'll just move along. A story published over the weekend says John F. Kennedy Jr. once propositioned Princess Diana. God, this guy wanted to bang everything like his father, huh? Yeah. Well, because he was fascinated with her legs. He'd look at her legs and go, oh, daddy. But the proposition wasn't for sex. Sorry to disappoint you. John just wanted her to pose for his magazine, George, which Diana politely turned down. Yeah, you know, because the way I phrased the story, you got a visual of John and Diana going to Who's Your Daddy City, didn't you? Yeah, he had her old legs pinned back behind her legs. You saw it in your mind, didn't you? Mm-hmm. Took you down the well. Took you down the well. So, what do you think about the rumor that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are getting married at Madison Square Garden in New York City on July 3rd? Nothing's been confirmed. It's just a hot Hollywood rumor right now. But if it was true, this wedding would cost millions. So you know Taylor's flipping the bill, not her parents. Now, plus, on top of that, the odds of a marriage like this succeeding just plummeted. Historical studies have shown that the more expensive the wedding is, the higher the divorce rate is. Now, on the other hand, this could be a smokescreen to throw everyone off from where the real wedding is taking place. You know, kind of throw the paparazzi off. Originally, it was said to be taking place on July 13th at the Ocean House in Watch Hill, Rhode Island. Now, it wouldn't shock me if they did a white trash wedding style in Las Vegas, though, just to throw everybody way off. Are things starting to get serious between Sydney Sweeney and Scooter Braun? Little Scooter. She just threw him this big birthday bash with an epic performance by Warren G. Tom Hanks was there, Jessica Alba was there, and a bunch of other B-list celebrities. But hey, wouldn't it be fun, though, to see Taylor and Travis, Sydney and Scooter do a white trash double wedding in Las Vegas? I mean, you know, Travis and Scooter would be rolling their dice that night.
Immature. The man's immature, you know?
All right, Rosie O'Donnell says she will not have additional plastic surgery on her face to fix what doctors botched. Yeah, instead, she said she'll just shave her ass and walk backwards. And that's an ugly, ungodly slice of celebrity cheese for you.
Who gives a rat's ass?
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
All right, you can send your questions, comments, and observations to my producer. His name is Fleabag at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com, and anything goes. The more outrageous and salacious, the better, and it's impossible to offend me. All right, Jerry D. in Tulsa, Oklahoma says, let me bring it up here. God, I hate being on the road when things don't work properly. All right, he said, if you give up the Rat's Ass Podcast, could I buy it from you? The name, equipment, hosting, social media, and your audience, all of it. Well, Jerry, make me an offer I can't refuse, buddy. Belinda G., Boise, Idaho, says, what goes through your mind, Mojo? Tell me what you think the difference is between a friend and a fiend. I think our definitions could be different. Well, Belinda, it's real simple. A friend is somebody I would invite to sleep over at my house to raid my fridge and empty my liquor cabinet. Everybody else is a fiend. So what's your definition? I can't wait to hear it. Brad S., Walla Walla, Bing Bang, Washington, said, who do you think would make a stronger president, Marco Rubio or J.D. Vance? Well, I like both guys a lot. But based on his political experience, I'd have to go with Marco Rubio. He's a little bit older than J.D., too. So the older guy gets the fruits of the labor. I like experience. But here is something a lot of people don't know. Just because Vance served as Trump's VP, he can still serve as Marco Rubio's VP for 2 terms, if Rubio selects him. So let's say both of them are running for president, in 2028 and Rubio gets the nomination. He could select Vance to be his VP. Then J.D. would still be eligible to be president for 2 terms after that. So thinking J.D. Vance, 3 terms as a VP, 2 terms as president. I mean, you talk about creating a Republican dynasty through 2044.
Holy shit!
Yeah, dominoes are all lined up for the next 18 years if you want to grab the brass ring, folks. Andrew C., Ames, Iowa. About 4 months ago, I ghosted this chick, and I really liked her because I got back together with my girlfriend. Okay, let me reread that. About 4 months ago, I ghosted this chick I really liked because I got back together with my ex-girlfriend. Gotcha. And she just broke up with me again. So I want to reapproach the girl I ghosted. What do you recommend? 4 months, huh? 4 months. Andrew, there is no excuse on the planet that she'll buy. I mean, if you're serious, you might try honesty. But that's about the only way you might, and I mean might, get a second chance if she liked you. All right, Melissa K., Flagstaff, Arizona, said, I did a bad thing. I promised my husband he'd be the last man I ever slept with. Then I went back to where I'm from for a reunion 2 weeks ago and slept with a guy I knew from high school. Should I keep it a secret or tell him? Melissa. My God. Well, you know, I'll tell you what. These things have a way of getting out. That's all I'm going to say about this. I mean, I want you to keep that in mind, but you have to decide how you want to deal with your demons.
Mojo, would you mind if I jump in here real quick?
No, Satan, go for it.
Melissa, I have a special little place for you, right next to me. Do you know what I'd like to do to you? DJ, hit it.
Push in the bush. You know I like
Oh,
push in the bush.
Satan, you horny little devil. Get out of here. Chad M., Riverside, California. Mojo, my man. You might be the only dude besides me who's into smooth jazz these days. Do you have a favorite group? Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. It's a group of white guys who everybody thinks is black, but they have 2 versions of the band too, one in the UK and one here in the USA around Chicago, using the name Down to the Bone. They just released their first album in 14 years called This Way Forward too. You can check them out on Apple Music, YouTube, and of course, Spotify.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head Trauma.
All right, today we're playing Liar Liar, where I told the story about myself. I said back in 1994, while doing a morning show in Los Angeles, a 6.7 earthquake struck and forced me to stay on the air for 3 days because nobody else was able to make it to the radio station. You have to guess whether I'm telling the truth or am I lying my ass off. If you said, Mojo, I believe you, man. You're telling the truth.
Yeah, baby.
Congratulations, you got it correct. But if you missed it, go see your doctor about your head trauma and get well soon. Yeah, 3 days. 3 days on the air. 72 hours straight. That was a marathon. But, I felt like, you know what? If Jerry Lewis used to do it, by God, so can I. That's how I got through it. Hey, by the way, I'm sitting behind home plate tonight, so watch the Reds and Padres game if you can, and I'll moon you in the bottom of the 7th, all right? But first, is this real or is it riffraff? A new study shows excessive use of electronic devices ages you quicker due to the energy produced by the screens. Alexa, is this real or is it riffraff?
It's complete riff-raff. Where did you get this information, Mojo?
On Facebook.
Well, that's your first mistake. 95% of what you see on Facebook is clickbait nonsense.
Okay, so what about this honey baking soda Vicks trick? Remedy for ED.
Who is Ed?
Not Ed. ED is an erectile dysfunction.
Oh, I misunderstood. Erectile Dysfunction is a hot new punk band out of Northern Ireland.
God, this is pointless. Okay, Alexa, there's your muzzle. All right, shout-outs to new Rat Nation members, Clarence Hayes Jr. of Bridgeport, West by God, Virginia, Alex Mahoney of Ocean City, Maryland, Robert Stacks in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and Linda Gaines in Panama City, Florida, and around the world in Dublin, Ireland, Sydney, Australia, and Luxembourg, Germany. Welcome back to the show, and thanks for listening to the Rat's Ass Podcast, everybody.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
All right, that's a wrap for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Go to ratsasspodcast.com to visit our hub and listen to previous episodes. Read the blog. It's loaded with lots of hot topicality. Watch Rat's Ass Rock TV. Join the mischief at Rat Nation. and connect with us on the socials. We'll do this again on Thursday, June 11th. Take care of each other, and thanks for stopping by the Rat's Ass Podcast in partnership with the Oz Podcast Group.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com.